Hi beautiful tribe, it's Kate here. I don't know about you guys, but the end of year and the whole Christmas thing can be a little bit stressful. I've had a really busy week and I'm a really relaxed and chilled out person, but even I'm not immune to the craziness at this time of year. No matter how much I go into the Christmas season trying to remain zen and balanced, something always ends up ruffling my feathers. And yesterday was kind of the start of my official silly season. I've been doing all right up until that point, but things are starting to bear down. I spent a huge, ridiculous amount of money on new curtains, which I absolutely hated when I got them home. So I had to quickly rush back and get them to the shop. But in the meanwhile, the washing machine flooded all over our new floors that were installed about 4 weeks ago. Thankfully, I was home and was able to stem the flood, but my husband still had to pull up a significant amount of the flooring and air it out. And then a giant, poor, beautiful bird flew straight into my daughter's window yesterday afternoon and not only cracked the glass, but actually smashed a big hole about that big through the glass and shattered the whole pane. So there was no blood. The bird flew away before I was able to check on it. It seemed to be okay, fingers crossed. But yeah, things are just getting a little bit crazy. Crazy's in the air. And then this morning, I was really rushed, feeling a little stressed. My son was just at me and at me and at me, and I yelled at him and I felt so bad. I hardly ever yell at the kids, but I really yelled at him and he didn't deserve it. And that was my stuff, not him. I'm just starting to feel a little frazzled. So I thought, what a better opportunity to make a video than about crystals to help you stay calm and to find your happy place at times when stress threatens to drive you nuts. So first of all on the list of crystals that calm and de-stress is, actually I'm going to work back in reverse. I think I did this on my last video too. I just wanted to jump straight into number 1, but let's start with number 5, shall we? Right, let's go to number 5 on my list of crystals that calm and de-stress is chrysoprase. Now this beautiful appley kind of mint colored stone this makes the list because it's a very cooling stone. I mean, just look at the energy of that. It's so crisp and cooling, the energy. So this stone is amazing to use on calming inflammation and any emotion or energy that carries heat with it. Now, stress is a very hot energy. I don't know anyone that gets stressed out and could say that they are embodying cool, flowing energy at that time. I think most of us would agree that to feel stressed is to feel a little hot and a little fiery, a little bit of lava bubbling under the skin. So any stone that cools and soothes and calms this hot energy is going to be fantastic for helping that angry flow to start subsiding. Now, chrysoprase can be used, well, it resonates mostly with the heart chakra and the higher heart chakra, but it can be used also at the solar plexus, the throat, and really anywhere on the body. It can also treat inflammation, physical inflammation in the joints, etc., or pain or immune system inflammation. But it's wonderful for helping calm, cool. It's almost like placing 2 slices of cold cucumber on your eyes when your face is feeling a bit hot and flushed. It's got that same effect, but energetically. So chrysoprase is number 5 on the list today. Number 4, moving up the list. This is another heart stone, rose quartz. It's one of my favorites to work on at the heart. Now this stone makes the calm and de-stress list because when you're in a state of anger, stress, frustration, being flustered, you're not in a state of love. You're not in a state of unconditional love. I wasn't in a state of unconditional love when I yelled at my gorgeous, beautiful boy this morning. And I think rose quartz really helps it to remind us to step back into that space, back into that state. It's almost impossible to feel stressed and angry and flustered if you are in a state of unconditional love. So it's very important that we are reminded to come back to that place of love, back to that centered heart space where we can regroup, cool down our emotions, take a deep breath, remember that this isn't so important, this is nothing in the big scheme of things, and we can send out love to that which is vexing us or stressing us out. Rose quartz is my favorite heart stone, so that's why this makes the list as number 4 for a de-stressing and calming stone. Look at the energy, it's just gorgeous, it's just beautiful, so calm. Okay, I'm feeling calmer already. Number 3 on the list of crystals that de-stress and calm, sodalite. So sodalite resonates mostly with the third eye and the throat chakras. So sodalite, in addition to being wonderful for communication and healing the throat chakra, it's actually a very mentally calming stone. It's very good for softening the effects of anxiety, for helping us to find clarity if we're feeling flustered, if we're feeling confused, if there's clutter in the mind and we're feeling overwhelmed. Sodalite's really going to help crystallize, clarify, and calm those hectic and busy thoughts, which can make us feel very stressed out. In fact, the mind can be the worst enemy when we're dealing with stress, because it needs to be contained. You know, we can take something that's actually quite small and insignificant and blow it so largely out of proportion that it really loses its relativity to the emotion that we're feeling. We can become so overstressed to something that is not really deserving of that level of stress. So sodalite will help us to come back to a place of relativity and clarity and help really calm the mind so we can focus and logically process what it is that's stressing us out, maybe come up with an action plan, breathe through any feelings of anxiousness, and then with that clear mind state, move on with the day. Thank you, sodalite. Number 2 on the list is a stone. It's actually a really stunning stone. Some people call it Chrysocolla. I call it Chrysocolla. I'm not sure if there's a correct way of saying it, but Chrysocolla, this is an A-grade Chrysocolla, so you've got all these beautiful colorings and markings in it. It's known as the stone of tranquility. Oh, don't you just feel relaxed just hearing that word? Tranquility. Known as the stone of tranquility because it really calms, it soothes, it brings us to a state of peace. It resonates from the solar plexus right up through to the third eye chakra, and used on any of these chakras, it can just help bring alignment, balance, calmness, harmony within, like just really, it's like a glass of nice cool water on a hot day. It's just so soothing and tranquil, peaceful. It's got the cooling properties of the Kris appraise. So, with those beautiful blues and greens, it's like, taking a dip in a beautiful lagoon energetically. It really helps bring that level of coolness to a hot and overheated energetic state. But it also mentally clarifies, mentally helps release those feelings of stress and anxiousness, and just brings us back to a place of center and perspective and tranquility. It's quite amazing. I recommend having it in your kit if you are serious about crystal healing. So that was number 2. Number 1 on the list, I wonder if you guys can guess what it is. This is probably one of the most popular stones in crystal healing. I'll give you a hint. It's purple. It's amethyst. So this is a nice rough raw chunk of amethyst, which has just been polished on the surface to get the rough edges away. Amethyst is such an amazing healer. Look, you'll see it pop up in my videos for a wide range of things, but the reason why amethyst makes number 1 as a stone to relax and release stress and find calmness is because it really channels that higher intuitive energy. Now, feelings of anger, stress, frustration, these are very low vibrational energies. It's a low vibrational state. So in order to overcome these feelings, we really need to connect to our higher vibrational state, to step more into a place of spirit and rise above those feelings to overcome them. Amethyst helps us do that. It helps us find perspective. It helps us find clarity. It's naturally calming and almost has a sedative-like effect. So it's very good for helping with sleep and meditation too, because it numbs the low vibrational mind. So I won't say it numbs the mind, because it actually really awakens the higher mind. It awakens our intuition, our wisdom, our knowing, our clairvoyance, our insight, and all of those higher vibrational thought processes and levels of consciousness. But it numbs and quietens the like the animal mind, the low vibrational primitive mind that is prone to succumbing to those feelings of stress and frustration and anger and those really kind of negative emotions that drag us down. So Amethyst rises us up above that whilst calming, sedating, helping us see the bigger picture, helping us connect with our higher selves and go beyond this earthbound state that we find ourselves in, and to really step more into a place of spirit and knowing, and really work through those feelings of stress. I think I might just put a sweatband on here today and just walk around with it in place for the rest of the day. Well, I hope you guys are getting through the Christmas season intact. If you do find yourself feeling a little stressed and frazzled, a little bit too many things to do on the to-do list, reach for one of these amazing stones, place it on the appropriate part of your body, take 5 minutes out of your busy day and just de-stress. Let it go. Remind yourself that in the big scheme of life, this is not worth holding on to. Just let it go, man. Let it go. Hectic, rush, stressed.